Nifty, the key benchmark of the stock markets, hit a dizzying number of 7,000 today, a reflection of hope ahead of 16th May that India will vote for a stable progressive government. So, this euphoria could infect the property markets as well. Be ready to make the most of it when it comes around. And that's what we are here for with the Property Show. And we've lined up for you. Mumbai resale property prices have gone up too much and too fast. And is there a case for price correction following the muted prices of new launches? Prime properties culled out in your budgets. Mumbai, a budget of 80 lakh to a crore. Noida, 40 lakhs. Gurgaon, a whopping budget of 5 crores. Chennai, 40 to 45 lakhs. So lots of property options with PropEquity data, and Sameer Jasuja here with me in the studio. But before we begin with smart properties to buy, take a look at what's happening around the country in real estate.
Over 200 developers, including major realty players, have shown interest in Mahada's plan to create a panel of builders for reconstruction of its colonies in Mumbai. The empaneled developers will primarily act as contractors who will bid for reconstruction as and when the societies approach the housing board. There are about 104 Mahada colonies which need to undergo reconstruction. According to Mahada officials, the lowest bidder will be paid the cost of construction. As per the recent Mahada policy, an FSI of 3 will be granted for redevelopment of its colonies covering 1,500 hectares. Tenants opting for redevelopment at Mahada's expense will be eligible for houses that are 50 to 95% larger than the present ones. Residents opting to appoint a private developer on their own will be eligible for only 35 to 80% more area. Bangalore-based developer RMZ Corp has signed fresh leases for over 1.5 million square feet of office space in the city. The company has also sold close to 1 million square feet, signaling continued demand for office space in the country's IT capital. This deal was signed for RMZ's 52-acre EcoWorld IT Park located on Outer Ring Road, which it had bought for over 1,000 crore rupees a few years ago. According to the sources, US conglomerate Honeywell is buying 8 lakh square feet of built-to-suit non-SEZ office space in EcoWorld for close to 600 crore rupees. This deal marks one of the biggest office space purchases by an MNC in the recent past. NCR-based real estate developer Supertech has launched its premium living project Supertech Hues in Sector 68, Gurgaon. The company, which has already tied up with global designer brands like Armani for its residences, has now signed world-renowned Singapore-based architect Aris for this new project. Supertech Hues will be a 70-acre integrated development, the first phase of which will have 23 towers of over 2,000 units. Across options of 2 and 3 BHK, apart from all facilities for the recreation and comfort of residents, this project will have around 85% green landscape areas.
We have launched this project at Sector 68 of Gurgaon. It's called Supertech Hues. It's a 70-acre development, out of which today we have announced 27 acre of this development, which we are calling Hues. This is a 2,000 apartment community which will be developing in next 3 to 4 year time. And the uniqueness about this project is that it's affordable and it's a mix of affordability and luxury.
Realty firm Ansal API has revived its plan to develop a 75-acre IT special economic zone in Greater Noida. The company will invest about 130 crore rupees over the next 3 years on construction. Notified in 2006 by the Commerce Ministry, the company was going slow on the development due to the global economic slowdown. With construction of Yamuna Expressway and NIIT setting up its captive units near this SEZ, the company has decided to increase the pace of development of this project. According to the company, 2 units in the SEZ have already started operation, and they expect the entire 2 lakh square feet area to be leased during this current fiscal. Revving up its hospitality play in India, Oberoi Realty is all set to bring iconic luxury brand Ritz-Carlton to Mumbai. Ritz-Carlton will be the hospitality partner for Oberoi Realty's iconic mixed-use development in Worli. The American brand hotel is expected to come up by 2016 at a cost of Rs 750 crore. The project will be developed by Oasis Realty, an equal joint venture between Vikas Oberoi-headed Oberoi Realty and Sahana Group. After its launch in Bangalore, this will be the second Ritz-Carlton in India. A building with 140 apartments will also come up adjacent to the hotel on the same premises. The apartment sizes will be in the range of 6,500 square feet to 20,000 square feet. The residences too will be managed by Ritz-Carlton.
All reports and figures point to a dull property market, especially for the Mumbai region. But the surprising factor is there are enough takers for ready-to-move-in flats and even lived-in flats. The resale market of Mumbai has actually seen a spike in prices over the last 3 quarters, say a few reports, selling at a record premium compared to the primary market. But how long will this continue? Nikhil Sivdas joins us with this report.
Michelle D'Souza is a cautious investor in the city's volatile realty market. For years, she's been seeking to trade up from her existing apartment. Last month, she felt the time was right and finally took the plunge in a move that has reaped excellent returns.
I sold my flat, which was 1050 square feet. I sold that for 1,30 lakhs. And I invested in this flat, which was 1900 square feet. I know this is going to appreciate 3 years hence. And the extra sum that I got from this sale is also making money.
Michelle is one among many making it big thanks to the city's resale market. According to data from JLL and corroborated by recent sellers, prices here are usually 15 to 20% higher than the primary market. However, over the past 3 quarters, it has been averaging at least 35 to 40% higher. So why have prices increased so dramatically? Industry experts credit it to the fact that builders have not yet increased prices for new launches and the fact that home buyers prefer ready-to-move-in projects.
The supply is so slow that I do not believe that the ready-to-move-in market will ever be challenged. The speed at which Mumbai as a region is growing, we are not able to keep up pace with the speed at which one needs to build.
New launches in areas like Mulund, Chembur, Bhandup, Ghatkopar and Kanjurmarg are now selling at least a 35% discount to resale properties in the same area, with a similar trend emerging in the western suburbs, specifically the Andheri-Borivali belt. This variation in pricing has seen smart investors exiting from the existing units and using the premium to invest in new launch properties.
We've actually sold very recently, 2 months back around March, a property for 17,000. Moved this client to Kandivali Lokhandwala, which was like 3 kilometers from this place, at 11,000 rupees a square feet. So, and not only was he able to buy a bigger apartment, we managed to give him 2 apartments for the price of 1.
However, experts warn that this trend may not last much longer. They claim that transactions in the resale market have been drying up, with home buyers staying away from resale properties that have now become unaffordable.
When these premiums increase, when these premiums go from 20 to 40%, this is really clear indication that resale market is overheated. If it is overheated and there are transactions happening, then we are comfortable. If it is overheated and no transactions happening, that is a clear case of correction in happening.
This, coupled with the availability of cheaper units in the market in the form of new launches, has experts convinced that the resale market is headed for a price correction.
The primary and the secondary market will never be able to equate, but yes, the 40-50% differential that we see in pricing is narrowing down already. I am looking at a range of 20 to 30%. I mean, it would be foolish for anyone to pay anything more than 20% differential to a similar property in a similar location.
So if you are looking to be a smart investor, then now is the time to divest from your existing holdings and invest smartly in new launches. But you better hurry, because if experts are right, then prices will soon correct in the next couple of quarters. From Mumbai, Nikhil Sivdas, NDTV.
That's a curious case of Mumbai, and we've got Ramesh Nair, COO of JLL India, and Indu Saad, Director Sales, MumbaiPropertyExchange.com, joining us to get to the bottom of that story. Ramesh, what's going on? I mean, you're saying the resale prices have climbed so much, or the differential between resale prices and primary have gone up, and they're bound to come down. But you have the Nifty scaling 7,000 today. You think anything's going to come down in the property market going forward?
Manisha, it's very important to look at why does a typical Mumbaiite want to buy a secondary home than a primary home. Firstly, in terms of delivery risks, quite limited, buying a home which is already ready. Secondly, on the tax aspect, if you're looking at an under construction apartment, you obviously need to pay the service tax of around 3.7%, VAT of 1%, that's straight 4.7%. Also on the carpet area ratios, we've seen that existing apartments offer you better efficiency on carpet area in terms of newer apartments. Also on the maintenance front, existing secondary homes, the maintenance is lesser than newer apartments which have a lot more amenities. And lastly, existing secondary homes are in much better locations than where newer apartments are coming up. So all these reasons we have seen over the last couple of years. The difference typically used to be only around 15–20% between primary and secondary homes. Thanks to these 4–5 reasons and a lot of buyers moving towards the secondary markets, we've seen this gap actually widen to around 40%, which we believe is not sustainable and has to correct, which is quite evident over the last 3 months. What we are seeing is prices, the volumes in the secondary market has drastically dropped, and any market where the volumes drop, it obviously has to lead to a correction in prices.
Indu, would you agree? Some of the points which Ramesh has made are very interesting. The fact that, your tax benefits or under construction property are not that high on a home loan there. There are also other taxes that you have to worry about and take care of. And very, very interestingly, you get more carpet area in older properties and they're in better locations. Would you agree with those?
Yes, I definitely agree with that, because the resale market is a need-based market basically, and it's a perpetually evergreen market. In our experience, we've seen that most home buyers in the resale market are looking for ready possession. They're not willing to wait for those 4 to 5 years, into the under construction projects, and they need something which is in their close vicinity, and therefore they would find 1 or 2 flats available, let's say, in all the buildings nearby, as compared to they wouldn't find a new launch necessarily in the area that they're looking at. Also, there is a large section of buyers who's not confident of the possession timelines offered, by the builders today, of the land titles being cleared, in terms of the pre-launches that are being offered. And therefore, they are very conservative and they don't want to risk their capital, and they want to, stick to the resale market. Also, the carpet ratio efficiency, which has been absolutely squeezed out in the new pre-launches, is a major issue that a lot of our clients come up with. And when they compare the pre-launch, as compared to the resale apartments, they definitely say, the rooms are much smaller, the balconies have disappeared in the newer projects, and therefore they find value in money, value for money in the resale apartments. So yes, I do agree on that.
Okay, Ramesh, when you say that it is an overheated market and it's likely to come down, the premiums of 35 to 40% over the last 3 quarters, so where do you think it will settle down in the coming couple of quarters?
See, if you look at the typical Mumbai buyer, he is basically around 25 to 40% of buyers in any project is an investor slash speculator. He's definitely not happy with buying a ready apartment unless he sees capital appreciation, drastic capital appreciation. So a regular apartment doesn't give you more than 1.5–2% rental yield on an annualized basis. So that will be the driving factor behind this correction. It's tough to kind of put a number, but we believe it has to at least correct by somewhere in the range of 7 to 10%.
Indu, the primary market has been extremely dull. I mean, inventory overhang figures of the Mumbai market, entire Mumbai region, have just been increasing over the last 1 year and have dangerously crossed, all figures of 24 months has become history now. Maybe we're taking 36 and 40 months as safe to buy in a Mumbai market. Do you think that post-elections there will be a little bit of traction and buyers who are sitting on the fence are likely to come back? That's what everyone's talking about, but will it happen?
Yes, if we do have a stable government coming in, we do see positive signs in the real estate industry. So we have to wait for the for the election results to come in. So yes, definitely.
Ramesh, how confident are you that buyers will come back? I mean, there are 2 theories, and there are equal number of people divided on either side, saying that there are many other issues why the buyers are not coming back.
Manisha, volumes have definitely dropped, but prices haven't. If you look at the bottom of the residential market, which was the second quarter 2009, which is exactly 5 years back, we have noticed that the residential prices in Mumbai have gone up 78% in the last 5 years. In Navi Mumbai, it's gone up by around 82%, and in Thane it's gone up 84%. So all these three markets which constitutes MMR have considerably gone up. Although in terms of unsold inventory today, all these three markets are anywhere between 20 to 36 months. We have just not seen prices come down in Mumbai in the last 5 years.
Okay, so Indu, what are some of the key micro markets? Take all of MMR. Which one would your favorites be in terms of where traction, prices, buyer, all are going to return?
If you're talking about, let's say, for the new launches, then yes, the central line right from Wadala, Chembur, Ghatkopar, Thane, this is on the central line. On the western line, I would see Goregaon to the Kandivali belt. That is where we've seen the most amount of traction. So yes, we do see buyers coming back into these areas. The central line also because of all the infrastructure that has come into place, the Eastern Express Highway, the Eastern Freeway, the Santa Cruz Chembur Link Road. So therefore the central line is a favorite for all the investors, and therefore we've seen a lot of new launches and successful new launches in this area.
All right, are they being successful only because they're launching at very reasonable prices? Now, the room and the elbow for developers to just keep increasing prices with every launch has gone, hasn't it, Indu?
Yes, surely. Like we had a Kalpatru launch in Thane, for example, which was launched at a very reasonable rate, and therefore they sold about 700 flats in about 3 days' time. We had another example of a Runwal project on LBS Road, which launched at 9,900, and it received an overwhelming response because they sold around 400 flats in about 1 week's time. So that also got a very good response because they have been offering those attractive rates.
Okay, fair enough. Ramesh and Indu, thank you very much for joining in. Mumbai, always a market which excites everybody and is a barometer of what's really happening across the country as well. So, resale markets heated up, primary markets not yet so, but the curious and of course the most amazing part of Mumbai is what happens to sales. Don't worry about that. Prices simply don't come down because there's just not enough stock of homes in this city. All right, let's go across and take our first caller. Bhushan Desai is on the phone line. Bhushan, hi, go ahead.
Hi, I had a query about the Mumbai Western Line rates about the flat. I'm actually looking for either 1 or 2 BHK based on what range I get into. My range is around 80 lakhs to 1.1 crore. Okay. Preferred area on the Western Line is either Kandivali East, Thakur Village, or up to Goregaon area, maybe East or West.
Fair enough. So Western Line, his preference 80 lakhs to 1.1. If he goes, let's say he hits 1.1, Samir, you think we can give him a 2-bedroom, squeeze in a 2-bedroom?
It will be a bit of a challenge. So
still.
What we've done is that we can offer you projects that are getting ready this year itself, but of 1 BHK sizes typically, and in very good micro markets, whether it's Goregaon East, Malad West or Dahisar East, which are quite central locations from a western point of view. That's really what we can do best with this given budget at this point in time. But if you look at the key data points here, if you look at the inventory overhang figures in these price points, 1 BHK, the good news is that the inventory overhang figures are very low. 10 months only for Malad West, Goregaon East is 12 months and Dahisar East is 9 months.
So that means 1 BHKs are really going fast. That's
That's the key
only
point
thing
that I'm trying to make here.
Yeah.
That it's very important to know that 1 BHKs are really in demand because they're affordable. When I mean affordable from a Mumbai standpoint,
point of view.
right? And that's why I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Also that you will not have any problems ever liquidating it or renting it. So it's the right thing to do. Coming to the price appreciation trends, also they've done reasonably well. If you look at all the 3 micro markets, they've been between 34 and 38%, translating to an annualized return of 14 and 15%. So from that point of view also, it's better than a fixed deposit return even in a bad market. The projects that you can look at are Sri Shashwat by DV Group. This is a project available with the developer getting ready this year. This project is actually a standalone 14-story building It's got a mix of 1 and 2 BHKs. The project has got proper OC in place and families have also started to live in here. Location of the project is just 1.7 kilometers from the Western Expressway. The second project is Manavsthal by Kamanwala Housing Construction, Malad West. This is a project still again available with the developer. It's got 5 towers, so a biggish kind of a development. This project got ready also this year and families have started to move in now. It's situated near to the Malad Marwa Road, which connects it to the Western Expressway, which is only 4 kilometers from there. And lastly, we have Mantri Serene by Mantri Realty. This is Goregaon East. This project is a mix of 1 and 2 BHKs also. The project is approved by SBI, HDFC, IDBI. So all banks are approving it. One wing is actually ready and the second wing is in advanced stages of construction.
All right, so 1 bedroom it is, but in good locations and good projects. These are the 3 that we recommend you see. Mumbai, a market where prices don't come down. They have been fairly mellow and you've got developers offering great discounts. You have a stable government, you have a market which is running up and you may soon have those discounts also disappearing. So if you've got money and you've been sitting on the fence for some time to buy, this could just be the time to get into the market. All right, we've got our next caller, Amit Bhadekar, on the phone line. Amit, hi. Thanks very much for joining in with your question. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity, and I'm really a good fan of your program, and do definitely follow your program as I get the time.
Thank you so much, Amit.
Yeah, so my query is, again, there are basically 3 parts to it. So first part is about the confusion. I'm basically looking for the investment in terms of regular income from the rentals. So first of all, is it a wise thing to look for the rental incomes, or we should look for the long-term investment as such? So that is the first part. Second part is that do we look for the micro markets around Mumbai like Ulve or Kalamboli, or should we look for the 2 or 3 tier cities like Indore for the investment?
All right, okay. Rent versus capital appreciation in India is a frankly, very standard answer. Rental yields are very poor, so really property is bought for capital investment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely
and
right.
Even
from
tier
a
1, tier
2. Your question with respect to tier 1 versus tier 2, and from a rental perspective, absolutely you'll need to go with tier 1. Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, we just did...
Even for capital appreciation, Sameer, I mean, rentals, of course, there's no point going with a tier 2 city because their rental yields are even poorer than in tier 1 cities.
Right.
But even for an investment perspective, with an investment perspective, do you think Indore would be better than a Mumbai?
You see, it depends now on micro market to micro market. We've reached that level where you need to do the right kind of research to be able to pick up the winners. We've been talking about Dwarka Expressway, we've been talking about golf course extension, we've been talking about bigger micro markets which were which had risen up quite substantially, and people have got stuck over there. So it's not necessary that you may not make a killing in a tier 2
and
city.
Lucknow has done better than many of the micro markets in NCR.
Exactly. So you have to be entering at the right price point for you to be able to make money in real estate now.
Fair enough.
That's the first
So where do we take Amit? Do we take him to Indore?
So I think we would clearly take you to Kalamboli because that's a micro market that is right next to Kharghar. It falls within your budget and the rental returns are 9 to 11 rupees a square foot. But over a period of time with the infrastructure coming around in Kharghar, this area is also going to benefit a lot, and price appreciation trends will be much better than what you see right now. If I just spell out some key data points, again with this kind of budget in mind, the inventory overhang is very safe. It's only about 13 odd months for Kalamboli because we are looking at the mid segment. The weighted average price is 5,400 rupees a square foot, so it's very affordable. Kharghar touches about 7,500 to 8,000 rupees a square foot, so it's adjacent to Kharghar, so it benefits that way. 23% has been the price appreciation, about 9% on an annualized basis. The projects that you can consider are Amrante by Neel Siddhi Group, Kalamboli. This is a project which is a residential commercial spread over 7.5 odd acres. Phase 1 has 12 towers ready already, and Phase 2 is under construction and will be completed by 2016. Project is approved by all the top banks. The builder is reasonably reputed. The second project that you can consider is Avior by Platinum Group. This project is also available with the developer. It's getting ready this year. It's a G+13 storied and is in advanced stages of completion. Project is approved by top banks. It's an excellent location, bang on the Sion-Panvel highway.
Okay, Amit, so clearly 3 projects for you in your budget, and Kalamboli, well, you will get a reasonable rental yield, and in India, if you get 2% to 3%, and if you get 4%, you're actually very lucky as a rental yield. So capital appreciation is the name of the game. On the other side, super affordable options in Noida and Ghaziabad is what we'll call out for you, and also top luxury projects in Gurgaon, around 5 crore rupees. So we go from budget to luxury.